The email from Campus France, once they validate your application, will come with this checklist as well. Then during the time I applied, the proof of fund requirement was 700 euros per month.
Hello guys, welcome to the channel. If this is the first time you see my face on your screen, my name is Nsong Rawili, as you can see below. I am an international student in France. I share content on master's application, my life as an international student in France, and other useful content. So if these are the kind of things that you might have interest in, do kindly like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click on the notification bell so you won't miss out on any of my useful videos. In today's video, I'll be inviting someone to share with us how he went about his France student visa. And I do advise that you watch to the end because he will be sharing tips that will help you avoid getting rejected when applying. So, welcome, Daniel. I'm going to allow you to first introduce yourself.
Hi everyone. My name is Daniel. I'm currently pursuing my master's degree in business intelligence at Université Bourgogne-Franche-Comté here in France.
Could you kindly take us through how you applied, like the application procedure, you found your school, and what were the steps?
All right, so I learned about my university from a friend. He was here about 2 years ago, but he's now currently based in Germany. Um, but I had the school bookmarked on my phone, and I had to check out for when the applications were open, and I was just basically waiting for the applications to be open. Then I applied as well. So basically, applying to France, there are two ways. Applying directly through Campus France, which is the Etudes en France portal, or applying directly through the school, right? So for those people that don't know, Campus France is the official agent for bringing international students to France, and the portal is called Etudes en France. So I started with the Etudes en France application process. I think for last year the application was deadline was 31st December 2022, and that was when I completed my application. I completed my application on the deadline actually. So I before then I already listed out all the schools that I was going to apply to, because I was very particular about the program and then the course curriculum. I wanted to be sure that it was exactly what I wanted to study. Um, so once I sorted out my application, um, December 2022, the next thing was waiting for Campus France to reach back to me on an interview date. So I had my interview with Campus France in February, specifically February 7th. That's when I had my interview, and I had to pay the Campus France application fee, which was 50,000, before I was able to schedule an appointment with Campus France. So I applied to three schools in total. One of the schools I applied only on Campus France. One of the schools I applied both on the school's website and Campus France portal. And then the third school, which is where I'm currently at, I only applied on the school's website. So I got one rejection from one of the schools that I applied through Campus France. I never got any feedback from the second school that I applied on Campus France, but I got admitted into the university that I'm currently at. That's UBFC for short, basically. And I applied directly on their portal. So my school's application, the different masters program have different application dates. For my current master's program, the application was open from March, ending of March to um, May or thereabouts last year, or this year rather. So that was when I applied. I applied in April. I was scheduled for a pre-selection interview, April 28th, 2023. Then I had issues with my internet, obviously. I had issues with my internet. I was in Nigeria then, so, and then I was rescheduled for another interview, May 3rd. Then I got my admission from UBFC May 9th, 2023. And once I got my admission, the next thing I had to do was to upload my admission details on Campus France. That's on the Etude en France portal. And by May 19th, Campus France validated my documents and then sent me a checklist for my visa application.
I have a question for you. Okay, like when you first applied on Campus France for the two schools, and then the one you applied outside of Campus France, did you have to now start the process again, registering on Campus France, or like because normally you have. I already have an admission, or I don't have an admission. So the first one you started was with I don't have admission yet. But when you now had admission, did you just still use your same profile, or how did you do it?
Yes. Yes. So my data was already on Campus France portal. So when I now got an admission outside Campus France, I now had to take my the details of my admission letter, the name of the school, my resumption date, all of that information. And I had to go to Campus France portal and click I have an admission. So when you now have your admission, all the previous data that you had would show up, but then
Mm-hmm.
you now have to include additional information regarding the admission that you got. So Campus
Ah,
France will take about a week or thereabout to validate all the information that you put. Then they would send you that your application has been validated, and then they will now schedule you for an interview.
okay. Then another question: when you're applying to the two schools, did you use the same statement of purpose that like the schools that you applied on Campus France? Because they normally ask, okay, I'm applying to like seven schools on Campus France. Should I use like the same statement of purpose, or is like
No,
different? Like how did it work?
I didn't use the same statement of purpose because they were different programs actually.
Mm,
So one of the school was in data analytics, another one was in information systems, and then the particular school that I'm in now is in business intelligence. So I had three different motivation letters, but all I had to do was to tie my previous education in engineering
mm,
to my work experience in data and insights, and then to what I wanted to do in my master's. So
all right.
that was exactly what I did.
Okay, thank you very much. So now we are going to go into the visa procedure proper. Okay, so first of all, maybe we start with the document. I think the checklist stuff from Campus France. Let's start from there, and then we talk about like the procedure with Campus France, and then the procedure at VFS, including the cost. And if I have any question, I'll be training. All right.
Okay. Okay. So once Campus One validated my admission information, and they sent me a checklist. So this is basically a list of documents I need to prepare or get ready ahead of my interview. And then the email would come with the checklist as a PDF, but they would also include in the email that student visa applications cannot be submitted to the consulate earlier than 3 months before resumption. So my resumption was in September, and then Campus Ones validated my my documents basically in May 19th. So I had to wait till like July before I applied for my visa, right? So all the time, so from May to July, before when I applied, I was just getting ready all the documents because it's quite a long list. I could briefly or quickly read through the list. So
Mm-hmm.
the email from Campus France, once they validate your application, will come with this checklist as well. And this checklist is basically the list of documents that you need to get ready prior to your visa interview with Campus France. So you need to come with two signed visa application forms. You can get the application forms from this website, which is francevisa.gov.fr. You need to come with two colored ID photo and passport photographs, the original passport, your original passport, and it must be valid for at least 15 months. You also need to come with colored copies of visas that you've gotten on your passport. So if you have any previous visas on your passport, you would have to print those pages and submit with your application as well. Then academic related documents, so your WAEC, um, the admission letter from your school, your university certificate, and your transcript. If you have a scholarship letter, you can also come with that. Then there's also a copy of attestation of admission printed from the Etude en France portal. So basically, once Campus France validates your admission information, they also send you on your portal, on your Campus France portal, there will be an admission validation or attestation of your admission that is on the portal. You can download it. So you have to bring that along with you for your visa interview with Campus France. So financial guarantee, this part is actually very important because it's like your sponsor or you having the money in your account. And then during the time I applied, the proof of fund requirement was 700 euros per month for 12 months because the validity of the student visa, at least for mine, was 1 year. Um, so you need to show 3 months bank statements belonging to you or your sponsor. In my case, I used my uncle as a sponsor, so I submitted his 3 months bank statement. You also need to show proof of income. So my uncle was retired, so I used his retirement certificate. And then you can come with a notarized guarantee form or a cover letter. Basically, there's a form that Campus France will also share with you um, alongside the email that they would send you for this visa interview. It would have basically writing you the name of your sponsor, your name, how much your sponsor will be giving you per month, and just that basic information. You also need to notarize that form once your sponsor is done filling it, or you use a cover letter. For me, I use the financial guarantee form that Campus France provided. Um, and then I also attached my sponsor's ID card, which was I used NIN slip. And then if there's any money that was deposited within the 3 months period into your bank account or your sponsor's bank account, you need to also show supporting documents. In my case, it was a deed of conveyance for sale of property. You also need to show accommodation certificate. Um, for and then obviously hotels and Airbnb reservations are not accepted because this is a long stay visa. So you really want to avoid using any accommodation from hotel or Airbnb. Um, so there's a difference between accommodation and accommodation letter, right? I know there are some websites that you could get accommodation certificates that is acceptable for the visa application process. I can't remember their names now, but I'm sure Willie will be able to include it in the description of this video. But for me, my university provided me accommodation after I got the admission with Cruise. So I just got the accommodation letter from Cruise, and that's what I used. Basically, the accommodation letter should have your name, the address of the accommodation, and the duration of time you'll be staying there. Mine was for 1 year. And then this part for minors, I don't think is applicable to me, so I didn't provide any parental authorization. You also need to provide travel insurance, and then plane ticket booking. So the plane ticket, it's usually a return ticket. I used return ticket for like um, duration of 1 year basically, or the longest you can find. I used 1 year, and it's not confirmed, meaning that you don't have to pay for it. So there are some airlines like Turkish Airways, and that they will allow you to like book a flight, but not, and it's valid for 48 or 72 hours without you paying. Right, that's what I used. And then for travel insurance, I used ICO. So ICO is an American insurance company, and basically, what you just need to do to get it is go on their website. You can just search icon on Google. You find their website. You'd apply online, and then I paid 23,000 naira, and then they sent me the insurance certificate, and that's what I used. So basically, you need to come with original copies of all your documents and photocopies as well. I think that's basically it about the checklist for the visa application. So once I had all the documents for my visa application, right, I then even before I had all the documents, I already scheduled my visa interview with Campus France. So basically, Campus France does the visa interview. Why you would also need to book an appointment with VFS. So VFS is the visa application center, and they have their offices in Lagos and Abuja. So for Lagos, you need to book an appointment ahead of time, because most of the time the available slots gets filled very easily, especially for Lagos. For Abuja, as at 2023 when I applied, those in Abuja did not need to book appointments with VFS. They just need to walk in. But for Lagos, you need to book appointment. Like, appointment dates were closing out like 2 weeks ahead, right? So you need to book on time. So I scheduled my Campus France interview. So Campus France basically does the visa interview. Then VFS submits your documents to the embassy. So you book an appointment with VFS just to drop your document. But it's ideal to have at least a day or 2 days after your visa interview before going for your VFS appointment. So I booked my VFS appointment for 3rd of August, and then I booked my Campus France interview for 1st of August. Um, so Campus France, basically the second interview, it's just trying to understand your reason for going to France, the relationship between your course. If you know what the course you are going to study is about, they'll ask you to say what are the curriculum, what are the courses under this masters. Talk about the city that you're traveling to. Just asking you basic questions. I think they always take notes, so probably they also send their recommendation to the embassy. So Campus France will also check your documents, because the interview is in two parts. They first check your document, the validity of your document, I don't know, or the authenticity of your document, and they now also interview you based on wanting to know your reason for traveling to France. So when they checked my document, there wasn't any issues with my document. So the only thing they asked me to do was to go download an introduction letter from the Campus France portal. So that was the letter I was going to show VFS. I was going to add that document alongside all the other documents in the checklist. And then that was what I was going to submit. They also help you with the order of arrangement, right? So you just take that, add your Campus France introduction letter, and then just submit to VFS. But if there's any issue with your document, Campus France will tell you, please, any correction Campus France makes, please go and do the correction, because I've seen a couple of people that Campus France made some corrections on their document, and they didn't really correct it, mostly because they were using an agent. The agent did correct it. They used hotel reservations, or something on the document was not just adding up, and they went ahead to submit that document. You most likely will be rejected if you do anything like that. So any correction Campus France makes, please try and correct it before going for your VFS appointment. So for me, I didn't have to correct anything. I just submitted my documents the same way Campus France arranged it for me, right? So for the VFS appointment booking, I paid an equivalent of 34,000 naira to book my appointment with VFS, and the visa fee was also 47 euros. So at the time in July 2023, that was equivalent to 42,720 naira. That was what I paid for the visa fee. Um, and then I had my interview on 3rd of August. No, I had my VFS appointment 3rd of August, Campus France interview 1st of August, and then I got my passport with my visa in it 15th of August. And that was about 8 working days after my VFS appointment. So basically, VFS takes your document and then puts it in an envelope and then forwards it to the embassy. So the embassy is the one to make decision on your visa. So I got my visa approved like after 8 working days. But Campus France will ideally tell you during the interview that your visa would come out, or your decision on your visa would come out between 10 to 15 working days. But for me, it was 8 working days. I guess I was lucky. Uh, and then how was it? I now had to book my flight, my train to France, and from Paris to my city.
Yeah, so that means like the total cost was how much, like including campus France, the VFS, and the
Yes.
visa appointment.
Um. So I know the total amount I spent,
Mhm.
but I don't for the application. It wasn't. So if we do a total of VFS, Campus France, and VFS, Campus France, and the visa fee, that should be around 120,000 naira. That was
Okay.
all the payment I made before my
Mhm.
visa came out. So once my
Mhm.
visa came out, that was when I now started making most of the bulk payments. Like I had to pay for my rent, I had to pay for my caution, had to book my flight, I had to also book my train from Paris to my city. And that was when I now started making the real expenses. But getting settled in France, including like validating my visa once I got here in September, I would say the total amount I spent was 2.3 million naira. So included my flight, my food stuff, my clothes, my train, my tuition, and my first month of rent. That I was good. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Thank you. So, I mean, with this, you have already like covered the budget to relocate to France, like in your specific case right now. So, I don't need to ask you
Yes.
that one again. So, maybe we'll now just move to what has been your experience so far in France.
Okay. My experience in France it's been good, honestly, because I would say it was better than I expected. My program is taught in English, so I don't really have so much interactions with French people. So it's not so much of a struggle for me because my colleagues all speak English, right? My professors also speak English, but the French issue would only come up because I don't speak French. I don't at least I know the basic French, basically. Vous parlez anglais, do you speak English? I know that one. So if I go to the offices for any administrative process, I first ask if they speak English. If they say no, then I take out my translate app and I I type what I want to say in English and then translate it and play them the audio or give them the text to read. And French people are very like if you make the attempt to speak French, they're very receptive and they're willing to help. At least from my experience, I'm in a small city, so they're very much willing to help. A lot of them don't speak English, but sometimes they speak English, so you just need to ask, and they're more than willing to help. So at least start with saying bonjour, and and they'll be more than willing to listen to you. So yeah, I'm also so there's a lot of benefits with schooling in France. I don't know, maybe that's for another video, but but at least 70% health insurance coverage from the government. At least I've even started benefiting from that because I even had up to 80% coverage my last visit to the hospital. Um, and you could also get a complimentary health insurance that would cover it 100%. So that's good. And then the housing benefits from CAF, I'm still expecting that one. Yeah, some of the applications in France just takes a lot of time or takes a while, but definitely, that's one of the reasons why I like it here. There's government. Yeah, they pay a lot of attention to international students, or they assist like people who are legally living here, whether you're a citizen or you're a student, to see like benefits from some of the things from the government, free food stuff here and there, Red Cross, Secure Popular. So it's been good settling in. It's been okay for me.
Okay, thank you. So I don't want this video to be long, else I would have asked you about your school stuff. So I'm not going to ask you because it's going to take longer than we
Yeah,
planned for the video. But if you're watching this video and maybe you'd like to know about his school, because his school is actually really cheap, just to give you some insight. So if you want us to make that video, just comment, and he's going to tell you about like his school in details and maybe other courses available in his school. And so maybe the last question I have for you is, any message for incoming or aspiring international students, like anyone that would like to come, maybe is thinking, what would you like to tell them?
Yeah, unlike the very popular advice where people say start learning French, I'm like, if you don't want to, if you can't learn French, sometimes you don't have all the resources to learn French in Nigeria. But here, it's good that my program has like a French course in the first semester. So I would say yes, know the basic French, know how to say bonjour, know how to say do you speak English. Those two things will come in very handy for you. And then, if please do your research and do the whole application yourself. That's the one single advice that I will give anybody, because I've seen cases where people use agents and the agents don't do their due diligence because obviously it's not their application, right? They just take your money. Some people don't even know the real cost of applying to France because they used an agent that like overcharged them to get, and they still got denied. So please do your due diligence, do your research, understand the process. It's quite straightforward. There's a lot
And
of
even
resource
if,
on
and
Redis
I feel like
channel.
even if you want someone to like assist you, let the person be someone that has the information and like is really going to take out time,
Yes,
to
yes,
assist you.
someone that has that track record of helping people
You get
successfully
what I'm
get their visa.
saying? Like,
Yeah,
be
definitely.
sure you're going to someone that has that is willing to help you and is really going to be patient. Like me, I'm willing to help you and be able to follow you. Like honestly, when people come to meet you, I'm like, okay, I'm going to I'm not going to do your application for you. I will assist you. Like I'm guiding you to do it, because you're going to have
Yes,
interview. You're going to have
yes.
interview. So if you don't know what you're doing, then you're going to, I don't know, just fall into a mess. So it's better you come to me and I'm helping you review your SOP and helping you to like review your CV. You are preparing, not for it to like, oh, take it and just do it. It's not going to help you. You are going to end up in a mess. So it's better it's guidance and not just, yeah, continue.
So that's my one single advice. Yes, that's my one single advice. Try
Mm,
and research, know what the requirements are, so that you don't like fall for scammers in the name of agent. So
mm,
even if your agent is helping you do stuff, it's good for you to even like cross check to see the
mm,
documents that are actually submitting. Don't just submit those documents like that to VFS. So
mm.
I think that's it basically. When you come to France, you meet people who speak French, you will learn French. Like if you are really interested in learning French, you will learn French. Like yeah, so it might take a while, but no pressure.
Thanks for your time. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And guys, so if you have any question, just drop it in the comments section. We will do well to answer you. And you can as well follow Daniel on social media. That's actually his Instagram user. So you can follow you on his social media and also follow me on my social media platform. And if you like this video and it was beneficial and you learned, even if it's one thing, like one single thing that you learned from this video, and you have not subscribed, and you have not liked, and you have not shared, come on now, you don't have conscience. You don't have conscience. So please support the channel, help us to grow,
Yeah.
and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.